I was seeing that, and then I saw $65 billion in new commercial investment, 55,000 jobs. I mean, that's crazy.
For me, that is the legacy project. It's going to attract business. I mean, think about that. You are one metro stop away from Dulles Airport. So government contractors and international businesses and tech companies, they're going to want to be there.
We were doing an interview with a winery, and one of the people said they went to Napa Valley, and one of the wine people are there like, oh my God, Northern Virginia has some of the best wine in the world.
I'm the Executive Director of Economic Development for Loudoun County. I was at DC 101 from 1998 to 2004. After I left radio, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. The idea was to go and help small businesses. But then I got here and that wasn't the job.
Tell me a little bit about that RIVANA project, because that's been pretty popular.
That property was a finalist for HQ2. You know, it's going to be very walkable, very mixed use, but still very green and still, you know, it's not going to be a concrete jungle. It's gonna be that mix between what Loudoun was and what Loudoun can be in the future.
In the future, like what kind of industries get you guys excited that you kind of like target?
There's several opportunities. The first is, you know, you have, and then
yeah.
So we have all this great opportunity.
All right, I am out here in Loudoun County, Virginia. And as you know, Loudoun County has had a ton of growth in the last 20 years. Well, who not better to talk about where the future of Loudoun County is going than Buddy Rizer over at Loudoun County Economic Development. In this video, we talk about One Loudoun to Middleburg to the future plans of Sterling and the brand new Metro line in Ashburn. I'm really excited for you guys to hear this episode. And by the way, if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, definitely email me info@colganteam.com. Let's get right into the episode.
I love the shores. I was in radio for 30 years before I did this.
Oh, okay.
So
He's very interested in all
no. I was 16 years at DC 101 and 14 years at 98 Rock in Baltimore.
You can start recording. We should talk about that. That's because, because it's funny you said it. That's how Dan, I might know you, because he was in radio too.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, he was in radio for a while, and when he was like 14 years old, he had a show in Fairfax on like the local thing, and they used to call him like the next David Letterman, and so he's a big radio guy, and he just started some website where they talk about like local radio, and I don't know who listens to the radio as much anymore. Yeah, so my buddy Dan, that's because
what's his name?
Dan Lane.
You know what? I think I got an email from him. He just restarted DCR TV.
It is him. Yes, DCR TV.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw something on X. Somebody was leaving WTOP, and I texted him, and he was like, "Oh my God, that's breaking news. I'm posting that." And I was like, "Dude, you're probably the only person
that's awesome
in the world who's got excited about that." Yeah.
Well, DCR TV used to be like it was the thing that some radio stations would actually block because it got all the news before anybody else. Like you would know somebody was going to get fired.
Oh yeah.
On DCR TV, like a day before the HR person came into your office.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you're like on there.
How does that happen?
Yeah, they're like feeding it in. They're like, what? So how long? Where stations were you at? Like what years?
I was at DC 101 from 1998 to 2004.
Okay,
and then I was 14 years at 98 Rock, mostly part-time after that.
Nice.
You know, and then it all got a little bit too much with trying to do all this nonsense here in
100%.
Yeah,
you know? This is like going to keep you busy. Yeah, so that was long after then Howard Stern was there, because that was like what, early 80s probably?
Yeah, I was after Howard Stern, but there during the Grease Man days.
Yeah, the Grease Man, yeah.
Then we had a couple of other things. Then I did the morning show, and then Elliot replaced me on the morning show, and I went to the midday show.
Nice, yeah.
Because I didn't like getting up at 3:30 every morning.
Yeah, no, that's an early shift, because it was at like morning drive time is like the key to FM radio, because I used to do radio advertising for like real estate. Yeah, and then I don't remember HF Festival.
Oh,
they just brought it back. That was like the biggest thing around here back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, that was always, from a DC 101 perspective, we were always like, man, how do they get all those great bands?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know.
I saw Eminem there when he first blew up, like his first thing, and they had him as a headliner. Yeah, so exactly. They must have been paying the money or something.
Yeah, I used to go to HFS Festival fairly often, but obviously I would disguise myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, DC 101 wouldn't have liked that. Yeah, that was like back in the day. If anyone doesn't know, or like nerding out on like radio, that was like back in the day when like FM radio was like, even the people were like legends walking around here, like like you said, the Grease Man. You were on DC 101. Yeah, that's funny. So how did you end up like? Tell everybody what your role is now over here at Economic Development.
Yeah, I'm the executive director of Economic Development for Loudoun County. I've been with the county since 2007, I think. I came here, after I left radio, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to reinvent. Like, I didn't want to continue in radio. I just didn't think that was the right place for me anymore. But I also wanted to get into something that was more community oriented.
Right.
I had been on economic development commissions and advisory groups and thought, you know what, I like that idea of helping businesses. So really, when I first started down this road, the idea was, first of all, I didn't ever want to manage again.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I didn't want to be in charge of anything. I just wanted to go and help, especially small businesses.
Right.
But then I got here and that wasn't the job.
Yeah, exactly.
The job was to move the needle, because at that point, Loudoun was 81% dependent on residential real estate for our taxes.
Oh, wow.
So when the housing bubble burst, we lost about a third of our tax revenue.
Wow, yeah.
So what we needed to do was grow our commercial tax base by a significant amount, and we had to do it quickly.
And you had to adjust quick, because that lingered for several years.
Yeah, we went years where we were not getting raises, we were laying people off. The tax rate went up to $1.285.
Wow.
One of my proudest accomplishments since I've been here is that we have reduced the tax rate by 42 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, I was seeing that, and then I saw $65 billion in new commercial investment, 55,000 jobs. I mean, that's crazy.
It's just been amazing. It's been an amazing run here. We're very proud of what we've accomplished here in Loudoun County. The economy has gone from teetering to one of the strongest local economies anywhere in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people, I've said this a bunch of times in my videos, like if something happens like Loudoun County, we got bigger problems going on in the country, Yeah, I remember driving my dad to the airport when I was 16. And I grew up in Gainesville, and you wouldn't dare drive down Gumspring because there was like no lights on the road at night, and it was like all wooded trees, hardly anything, and then you go up Old Ox to Dallas, there was like nothing around, and then all of a sudden started like growing. But Loudoun's done a really good job the way that it's all grown. How have you guys been able to like have these businesses come in, but then also like keep the houses coming in a good way?
Yeah, I think you have to give a lot of credit to our elected officials.
Right.
And this, goes back for years, because really there's been a fairly consistent plan ever since the, Dulles Airport showed up.
Yeah.
Right? We started delivering water and sewer, and then, it just started to grow, and we started to make those decisions. But, when you're growing by 15,000 people a year, as we were for a long time, we did get behind on a lot of things. And, we went through a period where we were kind of cutting back on houses because we couldn't keep up with the growth and the roads and the schools and the parks and the recreation and all of that stuff, right? But then we started to build momentum from a commercial tax base. And that really, it allowed us to put, a penny from every dollar into the road network.
Right.
We now put a penny from every dollar into affordable housing. The last 6 or 7 years, we've really started to focus on balancing and kind of heading toward a more mature community.
Yes.
Because, we were fastest growing in the country for so long.
Right.
We're now starting to level, not quite yet. We're still growing, but we're starting to level a little bit, and that's a completely different thing for a community. We're averaging 9% year-over-year growth.
That's
the
crazy.
Average in the country is 3%
right.
from an economic standpoint. So we're still growing faster than normal. But, inevitably, as you start to get more built out, there's less opportunity, and you kind of level off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that shocked me is doing a lot of YouTube when I do Loudoun. I've had a lot of people from Florida call me, and they're like, they want to move to Brambleton and like the 55 plus. And then I'll be like, hey, what's making? And they're like, oh, we can walk around. And then a lot of it's, we want to be closer to our grandkids. We thought they would come visit a lot more, and but they're busy lives, and Loudoun has this. That's like really surprised me a lot, to be honest.
Well, I think we have have we've been able to build a very quality community.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And it's tough to balance that amount of growth with trying to make sure that we maintain that high quality of life.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do. And I think that because we have proactively focused on that, we've done a pretty good job.
Right. Yeah. You guys really have, because I mean, back in the 90s, I don't even know if it was in the 90s, but the big thing to go to Loudoun was for Leesburg outlet malls or
That's
whatever.
right.
Yeah, or
That's
like the
right.
early 2000s. I was like, yeah, we're going to go out there just to go to the outlets. Then obviously when Loudoun came in, and then all the other like building going on.
Right. Well, when I first took this job, all of my friends were like, why would you want to work way out there?
Right. All the way out there. Yep.
Way out there. And, it's no longer way out there. It's actually at the center of job growth.
Right.
So
100%, yeah.
everything is moving out here, and the growth. I mean, just driving around our community, and you see all the new housing developments that are going up. And,
Yep.
it's really exciting to continue to see that success and that growth here.
Yeah, we did a video out in Brambleton, and there was like people walking around. It was like 2:00 on like a Tuesday. There's people walking around looking at lots and everything. And like, yeah, it used to be when someone wanted to move here, they'd say, I'm going to drive into DC. How's the commute? But most people like actually work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and for a community that was once considered a bedroom community,
yeah.
the fact that we have 50% of our workforce that works in Loudoun
crazy,
County
yeah.
is really tremendous. That helps on so many levels, keeps cars off the road. Parents can get home in time for soccer, or in time for dinner.
Helps the
and
local
things like that.
restaurants, businesses,
It's everything. And so building those jobs is pretty significant here.
Yeah, for sure. Is there like what in the future, like what kind of industries get you guys excited that you kind of like target?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. Obviously we caught lightning in a bottle with the technology.
Right, yeah,
and
for sure.
I mean, that really has been a game changer. But we do think there's several opportunities. The first is the greenfield development around Metro. We have several really good planned communities that are coming around Metro. You have RIVANA at the Innovation Station, and then Waterside right next to that, where we're filming today, Loudoun Station, Moorfield Station across the way, Gramercy District, Silver District West. So we have all this great opportunity to have a new product. Smaller units for residential, condos and apartments that really haven't been part of our product, but also office. We don't have a lot of traditional office product.
Right,
here.
office product, yeah.
So we're excited about that and working very hard. Obviously COVID changed the plans a little
100%,
bit.
yeah.
Because, we thought we would be further along in the metro development by now. But I'm encouraged. I mean, we're starting to see the interest rates come down and more confidence in the market. So I think we're going to get to a point where we start to develop office. So that's one. But also the evolving clusters. You start to think about health IT, or you start thinking about data and obviously AI. There's a lot of businesses that are growing up around that can really benefit from our tech workforce, our proximity to, the airport, to Washington, D.C., all the population, and really the digital infrastructure that we have here. So there's a lot of that. But I think one of the untold stories is all the manufacturing. It's not traditional manufacturing. It's more of the highly specialized manufacturing. And we do really well in that, drones and satellites.
Yeah, there's a lot of that around here, yeah.
So much of that stuff. So, we're trying to build the best, most resilient, most diverse economy we can build by really targeting as many different industries as practical.
Yeah, for sure. I know Mark, your assistant, was telling me you guys doing like life sciences, and, stuff like that as well. Yeah, it's crazy. Some of these hangars, people don't even realize there's like drones flying around. I'm like, there's all kinds of different things going on. But one thing about the metro is that you guys might not realize is a lot of buyers will like stay in Loudoun. And they'll say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to be working from home 3 or 4 days a week, but I got to go into Dallas once a month, or I got to go into DC, so the metro is cool, and then I go show them the metro area and all that. So I think it's still being like highly utilized for that purpose, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it is really kind of underperformed where we thought it would be. But I think you're right. I mean, it's still going to play a vital role in the future of Loudoun County. You know,
you'd much rather have it than not have it. That's
absolutely.
It ain't like you can just say, hey, let's bring the Metro out. That's like, what, 10-year project, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we first, finally opted in, or decided not to opt out, is probably the proper way of saying it. But that was 2012.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really open until 2022.
Yeah, they had
so it took a long time, a lot of money. But the metro districts are performing pretty well so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look over at like One Loud, and that's really popular over there, where you can just like get out, live there, walk right into your business, walk right to the SkyDrive, the movie theaters. I like the setup that you guys have done around here for sure.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of the model for RIVANA, for Loudoun Station, for Silver District West. You know, having several of those located around Loudoun County is completely different. You know, we've always been a rural community in the West and a suburban community. Now we're having a little bit more of that urban feel around our mixed use.
Yeah, for sure. I like how Loudoun did it for sure. I was talking to Vanessa that works with me, my assistant. She lived in Aldi too, and it's like, I feel like when you guys put in a community, it's more like you put everything in there, like the businesses, the local shops, dining, and then the people can kind of walk around. It feels like a little bit more planned than like a house here, a house there, a neighborhood here, a neighborhood there. Like I definitely love that. Tell me a little bit about that RIVANA project, because that's been pretty popular. A lot of people ask me about that.
Yeah, I think that for me, that is the legacy project, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
That's the one that we're really banking on, and listen, that property was a finalist for HQ2.
Oh wow! It was, wasn't it?
If they would have gone with greenfield development, that's where they would have decided to go. So we know that it's viable. You know, we know that it's going to attract business. I mean, think about that. You are one metro stop away from Dulles Airport.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So government contractors and international businesses and tech companies, you know, they're going to want to be there. And we expect that we're going to have a fairly significant announcement in the spring.
Nice.
Probably a groundbreaking. And so we're very excited about it. You know, we've tried to create something that is uniquely Loudoun. You know, it's going to be very walkable, very mixed use, but still very green, and still, you know, it's not going to be a concrete jungle. It's gonna be that mix between what Loudoun was and what Loudoun can be in the future.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's cool because a lot of people don't know this, but you can tell like Dulles and National are kind of like in their own little war. And so like I know Dulles are doing that huge. I think it's like United's doing a big expansion over there, right?
Yeah, we just in fact we had a big event just this past week where the CEO of United was in. They're building the new terminal. Yeah. And it is going to be, I mean, as somebody who travels a lot.
I'm always
I love the idea of a brand new terminal. I'm a United guy. You know,
same. I fly them all the time.
Yeah. So I you know, but you know, steel's up. We're already moving.
That's
and
awesome.
It's going to be connected with the tram, you know, underground, and it's going to be nice.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
It's really, I mean, we're very thankful that United has made that investment in Loudoun County, because Dulles Airport is so important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of their crews and stuff that live around here, their pilots. Yeah, we sold some of their pilots. I'm kind of laughing. I'm smirking because I'm seeing Loudoun. Our pictures of Dulles behind me. It's making me think of Die Hard.
Right.
Remember the second one, like Dulles gets like overtaken by terrorists.
Yes.
Or something. And that's a Christmas movie. You know, it's Christmas season.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like here in this development where we are right now. You know, you see the flight attendants and pilots, they live here,
right?
And they walk to the metro. They take metro 2 stops into the airport, and they're at work,
right?
You know, it's really cool, and that's something that we think is going to be a significant part of our future.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially all the different travel. I mean, you got to have a good airport. Obviously, Dulles is a great airport, but like to have a community, it's like some of these communities. You know, like she was telling me she's going to Seattle. I'm like, man, that's a far drive. When you get to the airport, it's really far away. To have Dulles so close is huge.
Yeah, and that wasn't always the thought, right?
No,
I mean, it used to be they thought, you know,
too far.
Why would you put that airport way out there? And having that connected makes a big difference. Having that connected by metro, because it was really the only capital in the U.S. And really the only capital in the world where the airport wasn't connected by metro or by mass transit. So you need that, especially when we're attracting businesses internationally, because they're so used to using transit to get to the airport.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you is, how the heck have you guys kept it where like Western Loudoun is still really rural feel? Like Middleburg, obviously, and then like Percyville. There's some like growth out those ways, but it's still like really rural feel. Like, how did you guys pull that off? Because I feel like that's a really, eventually, like people, like, they end up selling out. They say, screw it, we're just going to go for it. And then they ruin the look of it. But Loudoun kind of did a really good job keeping it the way it looks.
Yeah, and again, you have to credit the boards over the years that have proactively worked to do that. Our zoning really restricts the amount of development that can go out there. But also we have purposefully drawn a line, right? I mean, we have that Route 15 West.
Yeah.
We don't want to encroach on that.
Right.
Now, listen, there's houses that are being built and things that are by right, but even those, they're not really very dense, right? They're one per acre or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But even that, we know that we need housing, so it's trying to find that balance between we need housing, but we want to protect the West.
Right. Yeah.
So trying to find that balance. But if you look at what we have done as a department here in economic development, we have a specific team that focuses on helping landowners in the West monetize their land
off of that,
so they don't have to sell to a home builder or those kinds of things. And that's really how the winery industry came what it is, the breweries, and all the specialty things that we have going on. It goes a long way. I think that economic development has proven to be one of the best land preservation tools we have.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, again, it's a proactive effort. We work at it every day because it could easily get away from us if we kind of let it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't even think of the brewery's name. I wish I could off the top of my head, but there's a new brewery out there right by Leesburg. I mean, you can't even get in that place. It's like packed. There's like people coming around from Maryland, DC out there. And then Katra Goomba, I think that's like a really good winery. There's a lot of good wineries out there.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the amount of craft breweries and wineries we have, I mean, and the thing that I think I'm most proud of is that the quality of those things are really getting good. We have more acres under grape right now than anywhere else in Virginia.
That's crazy.
Which is, again, we've only been in the wine business, 40 years.
Right, yeah.
And really, on a big level, only about 20 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been successful. The quality of the wine's getting better. The quality of experience is great. And that experience when you're doing a winery or a brewery, experience is a big part of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool too when you already have them because like you guys know the resources for them, the banking, all those other things. And like we were doing an interview with a winery, and one of the people said they went to Napa Valley, and one of the wine people are there like, oh my God, Northern Virginia has some of the best wine in the world. It's crazy.
And you would have never guessed that 20 years ago. And,
100%.
And, we're winning all these national awards. We're winning the state awards, the Governor's Cup, and all these things. It's really fun to see, and it's a great part of my job.
Yeah, no, 100%. Where do you think like the future of that Leesburg looks? Obviously, Leesburg still has that like cool downtown feel, kind of connected with Ashburn a little bit. Like, you think there'll be much growth out there? Or?
I don't think there's going to be a lot of growth.
Right,
I mean, listen, Leesburg is such a special place.
It is,
downtown. But, that kind of retail is something that you have to really proactively try to make sure you're supporting.
Right, 100%.
Because, you need reasons, and it has to grow on each other, if there's, you want multiple shops, and you want that experience and that feel. So I think Leesburg has done a tremendous job. And
it still has that rural feel, like Old Town Americana feel to it when you walk around.
Middleburg, I mean, what a wonderful place Middleburg is.
Yeah, Middleburg's awesome. Yeah.
And so, and those amenities, it makes it a great place to live.
Yeah. One of my other videos I was talking about, I went to, it was Mother's Day, and we went over to Middleburg, got some lunch, and there was a daughter and mom sitting there, and they like flew from Florida to go to Middleburg, and I'm like, what? And they were like, oh yeah, we've heard how great this town is, we're staying here. And I was like, man, you traveled all the way out here, and they flew into Dallas and all that. So yeah, Middleburg's definitely awesome.
Well, no, and having Salamander out there, that's
Salamander.
a nationally recognized the facility.
Yeah, 100%.
People do come from all over just to go there.
Yeah.
And Sheila's been just a wonderful partner and part of this community and has done an amazing job out
Those
there.
houses over there they're putting in are beautiful. Yeah, if anyone from Salamander is watching, if you guys want me to stay there for a week and watch the place or make a video, I'll definitely do it for free.
Yeah, do a podcast.
Yeah, I'll do a
there.
podcast there to set me up in there. Totally different subject. One thing I wanted to ask you about was I saw, like Dallas Town Center got sold, and obviously the mall industry in general across the country is changing. And it looks like who's buying it is thinking about putting houses around the parking lot. And then I know that's happening over in Manassas with the Regal Cinema. Do you think there's going to be more like that with like the malls and the shopping centers as they've kind of gone away,
Yeah, the mall has always been an interesting thing for
Right.
us. We're committed to the mall. But we also know that, a standalone mall is, unless you're a super regional,
Right.
with all the top high-end stores, it's just not what it used to
It's
be.
not 1995
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm not driving the El Camino out and walking the floor.
Going to the HF Festival and then going, yeah.
So I think it is important, and we are supportive of making the mall into a more mixed-use development. That whole model of, a bunch of buildings with sea of parking around it just doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore.
And so the idea of being able to make that more experiential has been really powerful. I mean, if you start to look at the people that are going into the mall right now, Dulles Town Center, you're seeing that new experience, or getting people into the facility again.
For sure.
And adding more houses around it. That's going to be a natural audience. There's a lot there that we remain very excited about.
Yeah, for sure. I think there was talks. I don't know if it's happening, but they're putting like a nice luxury bowling alley over there.
It's all coming.
Yeah, that's all coming. And then that people got really excited when we were talking about that. And then what else you got to do? You got a huge parking lot.
Right.
You much rather have houses, development going in there because people aren't going to those malls like they used to. But it's kind of different around here because you do have a lot of people coming in from all over and all that.
Yeah. No, but it's about walkability. Everything is as we go forward, we're going to see that walkability is going to be important to the citizens. It's going to be important to the workforce. And what's important to the workforce is going to be important to the companies.
Yeah.
So the companies are going to go where they can get the workforce. And so you have to build those attractive communities with the amenities and the type of residential product that's going to be attractive.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And I think that's where we're focused. That's where we're really trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite neighborhoods people ask me all the time about is Brambleton.
Yep.
Yeah, the way that they laid that out. Like, what kind of thought, I don't know if you were here when they did that. I guess you probably were, but what kind of thought went into that? Because you got the city center, the movie theater. They got things going on in the weekend. That place has been super popular.
It has done amazing. I think it's one of the great communities in the country.
Yeah, I've had people from Florida, other realtors ask me about that area there.
Yeah, and the developer has been a great community partner. I don't know if you've been out to the barn since that's been open out there.
I haven't been out there. We saw the soccer fields and all that over there, yeah.
Amazing park out there now,
Yeah.
and it's just... It's a standalone community that's integrated into the larger community.
Right.
And that doesn't happen by accident. That's a concerted effort between the developer and the county. And there's enough supportive retail and shopping and restaurants in there that are great for the neighborhood. But then it also adds the accessibility going in and coming out.
Right.
Finishing that road network was so big. I mean, when I got here, Loudoun County Parkway didn't even go there, right? I mean, it was from here to Route 7. It was one lane there at the commander's facility.
Yeah, the commander's facility.
And then it go that way, and Loudoun County Parkway would just end.
Right.
So filling in those missing links has been a big part of what we've been trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I remember going up through Aldi, and that was always a traffic jam. And then that obviously, as the building came in, you guys extended the roads over there. And yeah, I think Aldi outside of Middleburg might be the most expensive zip code around. The values have shot up around there, really popular.
Yeah, and because it's such a great place to be.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable, and you start to see how communities come together.
Yeah.
And you start to see people say, wow, I love living here, and they become the best. I mean, those are your best advocates, right?
Yeah, 100%,
people saying, hey, Chris does a great job.
Right.
Same thing for communities.
Yeah.
People that advocate for your community.
Yeah.
Those are your best assets.
Yeah, that hospital there cracks me up. I've gone there a couple of times. It's like a country club over there.
It is.
Yeah, there's like no wait.
Yeah.
You just waltz right in. That's a really nice hospital they put in over there.
Yeah, and they do a great job, and that's one of the things that you have to build when you're building a community, is making sure that there's enough of those facilities.
Yeah, 100%.
And Nova has done a great job. HCA has done a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What do you think, like, the future? I think there was like plans of like growing One Loudoun. Is that kind of something that's still up in the air?
Yeah, I think
not that it's huge already, but
yeah. No, I think that the next phase of One Loudoun is coming.
Nice.
We're excited about that. We do think that there's a long way to go around our metro stops.
Yeah.
Kinkora is still building.
Right.
I mean, it's just you look at all these great little pockets that are coming, and then you start to think about redevelopment across Algonquian and Sterling, and infill development, and bringing more amenities and more things to do, more entertainment. All of those things are a work in progress that we're really focused on making sure that we have a complete community.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see like this area here where we're at, right by the metro, like walkability as like to get bigger. People didn't really need a car if they didn't really want one around here. Just jump on the metro, ride Uber to get to the airport, whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, I'll interview people who'll come in and they won't have a car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to me, and that wouldn't have been possible here in Loudoun not that long ago.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But between the evolution of rideshare and having metro here, I mean, it's a game changer for us.
Yeah, I remember they used to think families would like never want to leave the big city. And now they all like are living out like communities like here in Loudoun and all that, So it's cool to have that metro to just be able to ride in and all that. Another cool thing, obviously, is the Air and Space Museum over there. That's been a huge attraction as well.
It has been. You like you said, it used to be, it was the Leesburg outlets and
the Leesburg outlets.
Air and Space Center,
Yeah.
and we're trying to, with the Children's Science Center Museum, and a lot of the other things we're trying to do. We're trying to really build out all the reasons to come here. But yeah, we love a lot of those assets, like the Air and Space Museum. It's something we're really, really proud of.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess where do you see in the next 10 years for Loudoun? What kind of gets you excited? If you still even want to be messing with this, you know what I mean?
Well, 10 years, that might be somebody else's issues.
Yeah, exactly. Flying cars flying by us. Yeah.
No, but I think Loudoun is so well positioned
100%,
right now. We're dealing from a position where, if you look at just the regional economy, almost every other community around here is raising taxes while Loudoun continues to lower taxes.
Awesome.
We're probably going to lower taxes again this year.
You don't hear people from the government say they're going to lower taxes that
which
often.
is crazy. While increasing service.
Right.
I mean, when you were driving out here, how many potholes did you see?
None. Yeah. None at all. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you go just right down the road here and you see the brand new Ashburn Community Center.
Right.
I mean, world class.
Yeah. All the schools are new. All that. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%,
I mean, I had a person come in from Kansas the other day, and I was touring him around, and he said, I was showing him the high schools. He goes, "Is that a college campus?" I'm like, "No, that's just one of our high schools."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's cool too with the Commanders practice over there, because I know a lot of the players live over here. I'm friends with some of them, and they'll have like nice townhouses around here. A lot of them live in this community too. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but a lot of people too, I think that this is all government, but it's not really. It's a lot of technology, all kinds of different jobs around here.
It's mostly technology.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, having the government so close, and
right.
a lot of government contractors in Northern Virginia,
for sure.
All that helps, and it helps. No economy is recession proof, but we're fairly recession resistant.
Yeah.
Because of the government, because of the technology, and because of the strong economy. We had one of the lowest failure rates of businesses anywhere in the country during COVID. But we were able to get money into the hands of businesses within weeks.
Right.
While a lot of places they didn't have that same resource that they were able
exactly.
to do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, we've tried very hard to make sure that we're protecting where we are while building for the future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people ask me about the markets around here. I'm like, around here, just in Northern Virginia in general, we never really had those huge tract neighborhoods, where they have in Texas of 5,000-10,000 homes. I mean, obviously South Riding or Dominion Valley and Haymarket, but obviously now I think it's the way that you guys done, like over here, One Loudoun and all that. I think it's going to be in Brambleton, a lot more of that style of communities for sure. Those seem to be what's more popular as well.
No, I think so.
Yeah.
And it's about, making sure we have a complete mix.
Right.
We, for the longest time, we had one kind of product.
Right.
We had big houses.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're really starting to see those other kind of products kind of filling in and giving, because the old joke was you date in Arlington and then you get married in Fairfax and then you have kids in Loudoun.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to make sure that we're able to accommodate all of those, and with different kinds of products and different price points and different sizes and different styles. That's really, really important for a community.
Yeah. How do you think, like, as far as like affordable housing, do you think like, what do you think like the plans are for that? I know it's tough in the whole country. That's tough right now.
It is, and we have a long way to go, but for the last 6 years, we have been very focused on.
Right.
I mean, I don't think there are many communities that are actually putting a penny of the tax rate into affordable housing.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And really, we've only had a real housing department over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The board it's probably their number one priority.
Yeah, definitely
is coming with affordable housing, because it's important, because if you're going to have a strong economy, you need that complete diversity of the workforce.
Yep.
You need the people from the restaurants all the way to the CEOs.
Yeah.
And you want the government employees and the firemen and the police and the school teachers. You want them to be able to live in this community.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, their kids go to school here. Everything. Yeah.
And so it's. It's important that we continue to focus on that. And I think just driving around, you can see it. You can see
Definitely,
it's transforming as we sit.
Yeah, 100%. And part of the problem is somebody doesn't know this area well. Even like some of the other communities like Winchester, they're not even that much cheaper anymore. Those areas got up, it's just as expensive, not expensive as Loudoun or Fairfax, Prince William, but they're not even a good value anymore, as they used to be. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it is important that you do this in a thoughtful way.
Right.
You want
just
to
don't slap up houses somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that it's all quality.
Right.
You want to make sure that it's integrated. You want to make sure that all housing has access to the same kind of retail amenities and other amenities, transportation. I mean, it's just, you have to be really thoughtful about it.
100%. Yeah. No, you guys have done a terrific job. So if someone wanted to start a business or they're watching move a business, like what do you guys do here at Economic Development?
Well, I mean, we're a full service economic development organization. We have a team that does everything from land use to research to marketing to business attraction, business retention. And a couple of years ago, we launched a program that we're really proud of, an award-winning program called Launch Loudoun.
Nice.
And what we do is deliver those skill sets that business people need.
Yeah.
We saw during COVID that people were coming in with shoe boxes of receipts because they, it's.
Yeah.
If
you're running a business, that's a hard job.
Because you're busy doing your business, you don't have time to run your business.
Yep.
So trying to make sure that we're offering those value adds as you learn how to do that. That's been a very successful program. We're working with minority-owned businesses and small businesses and entrepreneurs, and we just had our big Innovation Challenge gala last night, where we gave away a lot of money to some very, very, very exciting new businesses. So we're really trying to make sure that this is a great place to work and to do business. And so far the strategy has been working.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, when you're getting into business, I mean, sometimes your local government can be your worst competitor because they're making it, you jump through hoops. So it's good to have like an advocate there for you to help you get your business going. And obviously you need small business to, you know, to run a community.
I think this is the best economic development job in the country because, you know, we have had the same economic development strategy really for as long as I've been here.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the board has always been supportive of economic development. They've given me the resources that I need to do this, and you know, I like to think that it's paid off. You know, we've
for sure.
You know, we have a very, very strong economy here.
Yeah, I mean, Loudoun always ranked like the highest, you know, #1 medium income in the country all the time.
Medium household income.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great thing, but it can also be a challenging thing.
For
and that's
sure,
why you have to focus on the affordability aspect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, which I think they're doing a good job with it. Yeah, because you know, I feel like it's still, though, you can have that number, but you could be in a community where houses are $10 million, and that's at like a Malibu. It's not like that around here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you could still live here and all that. Yeah, well, I really appreciate your time, man. This has been really useful. Anything else you want everybody to know about Loudoun or anything like that?
No, but you know, I do appreciate your time. You do a great job with these broadcasts, and I do appreciate and enjoy watching on all of the channels that you're on, but mostly Instagram.
Yeah, so. Instagram. Yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram if you're not. If you're not, my God, what is your problem? They gotta have some big problems. Yeah, anytime we talk about Loudoun, like, people go nuts, and then I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule.
No, it's been a pleasure, and I've been looking forward to this, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.